What's in your new teacher?
Miss Rich.
No, Miss Rich. Miss Rich, or whoever, whichever teacher is now going to be grading Benjamin. We had done an initial 2 minutes and 43 seconds that we had taped, but it accidentally got deleted. We were trying when this video went off because of a lack of storage. So we're going to be starting. We were talking about Jada Williams. Aaron, why don't you?
Okay, Jada Williams is a junior at AP Art and won several local and state awards for her artwork. She was on slow track until they discovered that she had dyslexia. She is considered an overachiever and hopes to be an artist someday. Thinks the leader might like to spend time in an art gallery and museum.
This is for you to tell us what to do. We're just Aaron read it. What do you want us to do next?
Oh wait, but here or not. Let's move on to but here or not.
You don't want us to talk about it?
Yes. Talk about what y'all think of Jada Williams.
I think her Teacher Elevitz?
Yes.
Mr. Elevitz? I think her name actually might not be Jada. I think it might be Jada.
Doesn't matter how to pronounce it. It only matters if it makes sense.
Well, I think she might be upset as a student if you say her name wrong.
Well, Jada. So if you say Jada, it still sounds like J-A-D-A.
Okay.
Let's talk about her, okay?
Okay.
So, my opinion on this is that I think that this would be a good thing for Mr. Obama to see. So I think maybe since he is, if she has some really good artwork, I think that would be really entertaining for him. I mean, who wouldn't want to see a bunch of art in an art museum for 3 hours? Definitely not me, right?
Okay. I think it would be. I think Jada would be a good fit for the president because I feel like they would have quality time to talk about each other at an art museum where it's very quiet and they can understand each other very well. And this could also talk about how about her artwork since she is a very good art student.
I think it would be a really bad example to use for the president because she's really not an average teen. She's very specialized and unique compared to other students at the school. And it really is probably not going to give the president good insight into what an average teen at the school does. I think the one good thing that the two of you didn't mention, which is probably out of your ignorance for not understanding Donald Trump, who might be the next president, or Hillary Clinton, who might be the next president as well, is that for them to have an understanding of what it's like for a child with dyslexia or a child with special needs who might be doing something in school that they may not realize that certain federal programs are either cut or enhanced as to how they might benefit certain students.
I like that. Let's go to Bahir.
No.
Maybe go to Bahir.
Since you can do something about her dyslexia, do you think she can get a cure for it?
You're supposed to be the teacher.
Alright,
Maybe
so
move on?
Bahir Pada.
Alright, he is a senior. He is a B average student. He is very active in debate. He is always fighting to change school policy for the better. He appears in mock trials and debates on the issues. He was recently suspended for 3 days after a fight due to parents' recent divorce and plans to take up to a debate competition.
Okay, so I think that this student can't handle his emotions that well. I mean, maybe a recent divorce is a hard time, but it's never good to fight someone because.
How do you know what it would be like to have parents getting divorced?
I have no idea. But I just think that active in debate, so he does like to argue. So maybe he was arguing with someone over it, and he wanted to take his anger out. So I don't think this guy would be so good to go to meet the president. So I'd rather stick with one of the what's the girl's name?
It matters which person's the best.
I think Chloe Holman right now is still at the top of the leaderboard for getting that president's meeting.
Mr. Elevitz?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the opinions of anyone else on this, or just his?
Y'all's opinions.
Oh, okay. I think Bahir Haddad, I don't think it would be a good matchup for the president because since he was arguing with a student and got in a fight, if maybe he got in an argument with the president, things wouldn't go very
Why are you
well.
talking to the camera?
Okay. Also, I think I don't think he would be good because I feel like he couldn't control his emotions very well, as Mr. Aaron said over here. So I think it would be best to go with someone who's more controlling and more calm.
Can I speak, Mr. Ellis? I think Bahir would probably be a great example. And the reason I think that is he's an average student because he's got a B. He's a senior, and he's going to be going to college next year, so he can get an idea of what children who are going to be facing going to college next year and the financial strains upon being in a divorced family. He's always fighting to change school policy for the better, and I think that would be...
Aaron, we're on camera here.
Oh, come on. I think it's right up the president's alley because most presidents usually have gone to law school, and for someone who debates and is thinking about all the issues, would probably be a good person to give the president an idea of what issues there are going on in children who are seniors in high school. I think the fact that he was recently suspended for 3 days actually also is a good thing for the president to see because the average American family, over 50% of children either, or probably even more than that, come from a divorced family or a family that they only have one parent. And I think going to debate competition would be great for all the students. So I think he would actually be an excellent choice.
How convincing. Wait, maybe move on, Mr. Benjamin?
Yes, we can. Jacob Jones.
Okay, the last student here.
You say it.
Why can't Mr. Aaron say it?
How about Mr. Rubin?
Because you've spoken too much.
So Mr. Aaron would like
Mr.
to.
Rubin. Okay.
No, Mr.
How about
Aaron
Jacob
would like
Jones?
to say it. Mr. Aaron would like to say it.
You need to tell your students to sit down.
Sit down.
No, what are you gonna do?
Aaron, sit down.
Jacob Jones. He's a junior. He's a C student. Is that you?
Yeah.
Regular level courses. Rides a motorcycle. Wears an earring. He's self-confident. He's well liked by both students and teachers. He's a good sense of humor. He started a recycling project at school that has become successful and copied by other high schools. Plans to take him to a recycling center. No.
Benjamin, do you want us to
We're
discuss?
waiting on the teacher again.
Come on, teacher.
What's y'all's point of view over Jacob Jones? Or y'all's
I think he would actually be a pretty good fit because since he is very self-confident, I mean, I don't think he would be bothered to talk about himself to the president. I mean, he has a good sense of humor and he's well liked by both students and teachers. So why wouldn't he be liked by an adult who's very considerate over others?
I also think that this guy would be really good because he's starting a recycling project and so much pollution is going on right now, and I think that him taking there would make him since thinking he's a well-educated student, knowing that we need to get the pollution down and start recycling more, and also know that he has a good sense of humor and he's very self-confident. Would also make him realize maybe he's funny. He's a good. Wait, Mr. Owitz. He's a very good student. I think he'd be a very good person to go to the president.
Why he's C student C?
Okay, but wait.
C.
Mr. Teacher, did you listen to what I said?
Sorry,
I said he's very self-confident and he likes to go to recycling places, which is good for the pollution.
Let's have Mr. Rubin speak.
Wait, how do you feel about this person?
I think actually the fact that he's a C student is actually probably a good thing because that's what an average student at most high schools is, a C student.
If you're going to be student above average is always better.
But
One above average student.
aren't you the teacher?
Yes.
I thought they wanted an average student to be the president, not an above average student.
It doesn't matter. Average doesn't mean grades.
Yeah, definitely.
We're debating. I thought we were debating this, sir.
Average student doesn't mean the average student. It talks about a normal student in a high school.
Raising my hand, teacher.
Yeah. What?
Do you want to know my opinion, or are you just going to tell me your
Tell
opinion?
me your opinion.
All right. I don't like the fact that he rides a motorcycle. I don't like the fact that he wears earrings.
Why? What's wrong with wearing earrings as a guy?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it might be a little bit disrespectful at school, but I think it's okay. I just don't
But
like.
girls can though, right?
I think I'm probably being biased. I think it's great that he's well liked by his friends and he has a good sense of humor and that he's doing something back to the community. I just personally don't think that he's.
Alright, Zach, can we continue?
I don't think he would be the best choice.
Yeah, I'm at Jacob Jones from Off so.
No. I don't think he would be the best choice. They didn't say that. All right, so what do we do next?
So next, we've already defined the problem use was which high school students should be selected.
Okay.
Now the criteria I want is how
No, is it you establish the criteria? We do.
what y'all's criteria how y'all gonna decide. What synergy y'all can describe? What synergy y'all can use to describe the average teenager in the United States? America?
I would say that the average
How many
teen-
criteria should we give you? Like three,
Three.
four?
To just get 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I think an average student.
You want to talk about grades first?
Yes. We'll talk about grades first. I would say most average students are probably a C or a B average student at high school.
So would we want an average or above average?
Above average for
We
grades.
would want.
Do you want us to do this, or are we all talking together?
Honestly, it really doesn't matter because I think it matters about the personality of the student.
Okay. So do you think? So number one, should grades be one of the criteria? Do you want a student who's failing?
We do not want a student
Do
who's
you want a
failing.
student who's valedictorian?
We would rather have a student that is valedictorian because
Well, I thought we wanted an average teen. I don't think a valedictorian is an
I
average
don't think
teen.
a failing teen is a.
Exactly. So I think it should be an average to an above average grade student.
I agree.
Okay. Do you agree?
I think B average.
Okay. So we've decided that one thing would be an above average grades. That's one criteria. So write that down for us, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's in? You said. What else did you say? You said something else criteria-wise. Aaron, are you gonna? Come on.
What?
Being
Okay, I'm listening. I'm saying I think average.
What else should be another criteria?
Another criteria that they are social and they can talk to
So what's that?
Interactions with others.
So, so what would we call that?
someone that could, someone who,
A social student.
or someone who's well liked.
Maybe well-rounded. Is that a better
Yeah,
word?
how well-rounded and understandable.
Or just social?
Both. Why can't we do well-rounded and social? Add their next two now. Then we won't have any more.
So here's my possible.
This video's going on for a long time, so we might run out of storage. So.
I analyze the problem. Student's behavior and language that he or she speaks matters too.
Say that again?
The student's behavior and race, ethnic, and religion matters a little
Thank
bit.
you so much, Mr. Elements, because I
You
think.
should also care about grades because you want a student that's really smart.
Quiet, teacher.
Do you need to represent America well?
Do you think that religion should really matter? I thought this is a country where it shouldn't matter what religion you are.
Oh, I'm sorry. It should not matter.
Yeah.
So do we think
We
religion?
make sure the president understands what language the student's speaking. Maybe make sure the president student speaks the same language.
Oh, so if we had a student who didn't speak English, that would probably be really bad. I agree with you. Do any of these students not speak
Does
English?
that mean we need a translator or something?
No, I think all of them do speak English. though.
Unless we have a translator.
Or someone who's really, really nervous who doesn't talk. So we should have someone. We had decided.
A social well-liked
So do we think someone who's got a good personality, who's very social and well-rounded would be good? Is that a good criteria?
Yes, but we should also care about grades as well.
We already said
We already
grades.
said grades.
We already decided on the grades. Did you not hear that?
Yeah. I did hear y'all.
Okay, so we already decided that's one criteria.
Well-rounded and social.
Well-rounded and social, that's another criteria. And do we need any more criteria?
It's respectful. I feel like this.
How much achievement a student has, like John Williams' outstanding art achievements?
I don't really care about art achievements. Do you?
Oh.
Do you?
No, I do not.
We didn't care
I don't
about
Don't
that.
change the fact.
Yeah, I don't care
the
about
student.
Um, so what's another word for respectful?
Cares. I guess they care about others. They do what they're supposed to.
You have to care about, but we have the students who are going to be meeting your president have to be a good example of the United States of America. We show the president that the United States is the best country in the whole world.
Okay, but what criteria is that? How do you put that into one word?
We have a student with a lot of achievements and has great social skills of others.
So great social skills, you just said that, I think that's a great one, great social skills.
Alright.
We said that, so put
And
well-rounded,
social skills.
put well-rounded is one, and great social skills is another. That's two criteria.
That's-
And do y'all wanna use respectful as one?
Yeah, because you can.
So we've got 4 criteria, so is that enough, moderator?
Yes, it is.
Alright, what's our next,
Analyze the problem.
what's the problem?
So let's see how we define it. And this problem says the analyze problem has to do with what problems could arise when an average student meets a high-ranking political figure. What could be the issues? Here's what the issues can be. What if the students?
Do you want us to tell you?
Yes.
Well, then,
I would tell mine too.
are you supposed to tell us, or are we supposed to ask? Or are we supposed to help you?
We're supposed to help you, but we're supposed to tell each other our opinions.
So, Anna, who do you want to ask what the problems are? Ask one of us.
What do you think problems could arise when a high school average student meets a high-ranking political figure?
I think that an average student would be very surprised and very nervous at the same time, but an outgoing student I think would be a very good fit for this because the president wants to talk to someone, and if you can't talk to them, then why would it happen? So I think they would be shocked and nervous, but after it starts and if they have a good sense of humor, I think it would be a very, very good day.
I think the other problem, as I think you mentioned, Benjamin, Mr. Elovitz, is that one of the problems could arise if it's a high-ranking political figure. The student that has there's one of the students that has Aaron, please put your head up and sit up at the table.
Yes, sir.
I've asked you 3 times. The one who's gotten in the fights, depending on if he could potentially get in an argument with the president, that would look really bad. The student who has dyslexia could also have potential difficulty communicating with the president. I think the one who's valedictorian.
Why would you think someone had dyslexia would be nervous? What if it's easy to be cured by doctors?
Because I think that's irrelevant at the time when you're a junior in high school. I think at that point she may have some confidence in you, she may not.
So it's possible. It's possible for a doctor. Which means it's possible for a doctor to have a cure for dyslexia. What is it, and what is it?
Dyslexia.
That's irrelevant for this conversation.
We need to know: is it possible to cure dyslexia? So you'll feel
It's not dyslexia, it's dyslexia.
Dyslexia is.
Yes, there is treatment for it.
Then if there is, why would she be so nervous? She's gonna die instantly.
Because is that really what you want on this?
No.
That's,
If you think so, that's.
this has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Okay, let's get to the next question. Possible solution.
No, we're not done yet. What else on there, Benjamin?
Phone down out of storage.
What other problems could arise?
How about racial diversity?
So if let's say if one of the students was if the president was Jewish and it was a Muslim student, and the Muslim student and the Jewish president didn't see eye to eye about things in the Middle East, that could get ugly really quick.
Good.
But the
Watch Rap
president-
Musk from Dumb Attitude. That would be bad.
That would be bad.
But the president would win because he has bodyguards.
Do I need to ask you to leave?
We can't do that.
Do you want a disrespectful student in your discussion group?
We have to have 4 people.
Oh, we do have to have 4 people? Okay. Oh, you can text your friends if they can't come.
Yeah.
Actually, no, right now you've lost 15 to 30 minutes with your friends. Keep going. What else do you want us to do?
Do you want us to analyze the problem, Mr. Owens?
Yes.
We just analyze
So now we have to figure out what would happen if students spoke different languages for fifth division for fifth and president.
If they spoke a different language, they probably should not.
it. Be elected.
Well, they shouldn't be chosen to speak to the president because I don't know if the president knows the language or if they have a translator in the room. That is another possibility. If they could go, if the president did have a translator.
But that means they're not an average student, because the average student speaks English.
That's not what they're asking.
It's not
us.
what they're asking.
They're asking us to give possible solutions. So if they don't speak the same language, you could have a translator.
Yes.
Or you could have a mother or a friend from the school, so that way you could have 2 students.
Maybe, I don't want, maybe if they don't have legs, there's a wheelchair. I'm not trying to be funny, I swear.
Okay.
But like if they're like a wheelchair, like they have a handicapped person like that works around, so that means they could have like someone helping them.
Be great. Give us are there some other things you want us, other problems you want us to analyze? And give
Well,
you,
I think what happened if student misbehaved with the visiting president. That would still be that choice.
do you want us to suggest a solution?
Uh,
Is that what you're asking?
Actually, all right. How about let's
We've only done one on number 4.
ethnic conflict.
There's a what?
Ethnic conflict. How do y'all think of that?
What's
I think that's a good
I
problem
don't
too.
even know
If
what
you think
that
of.
is.
What's an ethnic conflict?
Explain that, Mr. Teacher.
I don't know very well, so.
Is that kind of like the difference if let's say President Obama's Muslim, and let's say that the student Chloe Hellman is Jewish? Could that potentially be an ethnic conflict?
Well, that's more of a religious conflict.
Religious, but it's also an ethnicity. It's their background.
Do
Right.
you think they go together? Think so?
Yes.
Maybe if like, because the president in the future has a lot of money and rich, maybe it's like there's a kid that didn't have much money and they didn't have the clothes, like they didn't have.
I don't think ethnicity has any relation to the amount of money.
You said the background.
Background with respect to their religious background, their
Why just
ethnicity.
religious? Why can't it be?
Because that's not what the
culture?
word means.
What about their culture?
Yes, but
And they don't wear
but that's
different-
but when you're talking about money, that's socioeconomic stuff.
Okay, I didn't mean to say money. Okay, what about they just wear
So
different
then let's talk
clothes?
about what he asked us, which is the ethnic question.
Okay.
If you have someone religious, if you have someone that is Jewish or Muslim, or if you have someone that's Christian and Muslim, how would we deal with that? Is that what you're asking us?
Oh yes.
What would be a solution to that?
A solution to the ethnicity.
Mhm.
If about the different religions, I don't think there will be, a good solution to it. But if like they speak a different language, I said a translator would help with that. Exactly, I'm repeating it.
I think a good thing if you have 2 people of different religions would be is to choose a student who is very open and understanding of other religions, yet is very proud of his own religion, and that is actually knowledgeable and intelligent with respect to other religions, so that when it came to the president, they would be able to speak appropriately not only about their own religion, but also about the president's, so that there would be common ground, and yet the ability to be open to a discussion that wouldn't be very judgmental about someone else's.
Okay, I partially agree with that, but all the ones like on these, they said wants to take one to a recycling center, a debate competition. I think the only one you like, you know how you're saying how you want to do it with like religion, you want to talk about their religious things, but you're going to an art gallery, you're not going to be talking about like your religious freedoms and who you have and having a debate about that. The only
Why
one.
not?
Sure.
You're sitting with the president in a limo driving somewhere. Why would you not have those?
But that's not what I'm
discussions?
saying. It says he wants to take him to an art gallery. How do you know they'll meet? How do you know they won't meet? Or like
But
maybe
how do you know?
after a football game. You're not going to be talking about a religious
Aaron,
thing.
what is most art based upon? The famous, sir, the famous artist in European history. What are they known for?
For amazing works of art.
Okay, and those amazing works of art are based upon what a lot of the time?
Resident what they see around them.
Okay, so who is one of the most famous artists from back in European history?
Maybe some
Picasso.
of the Renaissance.
Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh no, I don't know.
Do you know who Michelangelo is?
Yes.
He said
Michelangelo.
What did he paint?
Said Vince
Starlight.
Lombardi.
No.
No, it was Picasso.
Said Vince Lombardi.
Can we move on to
Hey.
possible
It's
solutions
a
for this?
painter.
The Sistine Chapel.
It's time to move on.
Vince Lombardi stupid.
Y'all ready?
Oh, you're
Get 'em up. Let's suggest a possible solution.
I thought we just did that.
We didn't.
Yes, we did. We just
Yeah,
did.
yes, we did that.
Let's
Or
just do it one more
thought.
time.
Evaluate each solution.
Oh, we did. Just let's just do it one more time. That's all. It's only might be a little bit to do. So let's possible solutions. I choose John Williams because he's won a lot of awards from outstanding artwork.
Okay.
Oh, evaluate each solution, meaning each student?
No, if that gives at least 2 names explained why we chose him. So let's just give at least 2 names. I choose Ling Ho, John Williams. Now,
You choose, say that, you chose who?
John Williams, Ling Ho.
Okay.
Because they had the best grades.
No, and
Ling
he's,
Ho because he's very intelligent, fantastic, he's an A+ student. Then
okay.
John Williams since he's won a lot of awards from outstanding artwork.
Alright.
Y'all agree with me or y'all
No,
disagree?
I disagree with both yours.
Why?
Because I don't think that meeting grades is the one that matters. Why do you think Linho, he or she came and talked to the president? She's very shy, so what's the point? She goes, hey, I'm an A+.
What's president was surprised from when the president looked at his grades? Would the president be so shocked?
But that's not the thing. You have to think more.
I don't think the president would be shocked because the president knows at every school there's children that are very smart.
Yeah. It's not like she's like, I think he'd be more surprised to see like someone like.
How about John Williams?
I see how.
I
you
agree
go
with
John.
Sean Williams.
I don't
because-
really. I think my two are.
He didn't ask you. We didn't ask hers yet. We're still talking about his.
Oh.
All right, Benjamin, we need to do anything else on your two?
Now we're gonna evaluate each solution and select the best one.
No, I thought you want us each one of us to give at least 2 names. Do you want to hear the 2 names?
Yes,
of each
2
of us?
names.
I think
Maybe
Jacob
we've gone
Jones
step
and Chloe Hillman are the two that would be the best to.
And why did you choose them?
Because they both can talk and people like them.
Who were the 2 you said?
Jacob Jones and Chloe Hillman. They might not be the smartest, but if you can make a conversation with them, that's maybe not always book smart, street smart's also what matters when you're in a conversation.
I think Bahir Haddad and Chloe Hellman would be the best because Chloe Hellman is well liked by everyone, and she is social. So I feel like she would communicate well with the president, and I think Bahir Haddad would be well because he would actively.
He argues too much. He argues and
He's expressing his
Followers.
opinion. Shouldn't he get to express his opinion?
yes,
And I
he
think
yells a lot.
I think Haddad would be good because I think he could actively talk to the president and have a lot of conversations with him about the policy for the better, maybe about issues of the world or that.
I would agree with Mr. Justin. I think Chloe Hellman and Bahir Haddad would also be my favorites. I think Chloe represents the average student just by the fact of her grades are a little bit less than average probably, but she's well-rounded, she's well-liked. She obviously can express the average concerns of a child who's in a difficult financial situation based upon her parents having 8 kids. She would be able to get the president to be able to see a broad spectrum of the school as well as a football game. I think Bahir Haddad would be great because I think the awe of being in the face of the president would hopefully make him not be disrespectful to the president. But I think at the same time it would be good for the president to have someone who's willing to argue with him and show him truly what the students these days are dealing with in school and things that really are going to make a difference for children that are in high school, inability to communicate those concerns to the president. And the president to get a real look at some of the difficulties that children are facing, and someone who can actually express those concerns.
Would you like us to move on?
Here's my opinion. The students has decided to be John Williams because he's had a lot of achievements.
Teacher, I can't hear you
arts. He's had a lot of art achievements, and there's a chance that he might not struggle with meeting new people. Even though he have dyslexia, it's very likely that he'll get treatment and cured for dyslexia because the United States has very good health care.
But Benjamin, that's irrelevant. That's not what we're talking. It doesn't matter what she's going to get in the future, and what does it have to do with making a decision about her right now? That's like saying that she has a pneumonia or she has a skin condition that's going to be cured in the future. How does that have relevance to whether or not she's able to talk with the president?
So we'll be able to talk to the president.
Well, what does it have to do with
Her disease will be taken care of.
When? Right now, it's not. Right now, she has it. She's living with it, and she's doing well with it.
Okay, so John Williams should
Okay, I think that's fine.
be selected.
Okay.
Also, we can assume that he's extremely talented because he's an AP class, AP
Okay.
art.
Alright.
Okay.
That doesn't mean she's smart. That means she just might be very talented at art.
And how is he so capable of having all those amazing art achievements?
Because she works hard and she
She-
still has something she does.
Benjamin,
So does that mean she doesn't work hard in any else of her classes?
Well,
rather than art?
she might. How do you know she does?
Does making an excellent grade in art require you to be very
Smart in math.
dedicated?
Well,
You've
that
gotta-
doesn't mean
you've gotta
you'll
fin-
fail other classes.
You've got
in
to
art.
finish you have to finish your arts projects, right? But if you finish your art projects, is that what matters? The only thing that matters, or does it matter if they're actually very artistic and talented with respect to being creative and original when it comes
The president
to
won't be excited
If you
about
answer,
knowing the
why can't you answer my question?
person. I'm interested.
That's not what I just asked you.
What did you just ask me?
I said, isn't it important that they be original and creative if they're going to be an artist?
30 minutes.
Well, yeah. They should be creative.
Well, someone who's an artist, they probably are creative, right?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, all right. Suggest ways for. Are we to the next problem yet, Benjamin? Number 6.
Let's move on to. Wait, let me finish. The reason why Ling Ho isn't the best student to be chosen is because even though she's really intelligent, she gets nervous when we new people.
Alright.
If someone like her met the president from her country, that could be a little stress. From the information, John Williams would be a student that's selected, in my opinion.
I think it's Jada.
Jada Williams.
Alright.
All right. What do you want to
Let's suggest ways for testing your parents' solution. We will test each student's ability to meet new people well, and we will look at we will see if students have a lot of achievements. That's where two criteria. That's two things we're going to use to grade a student.
So how would you do that? How do you test? How would we test a student?
How about you look them as the entire person?
What?
How do you look at them as a whole person? How would we look at their history?
How could you
look at them as a whole person?
Benjamin, if the school wanted you to meet President Obama, do you think they would just let you go meet him?
No.
What would they do?
They don't look they will look at all your documents about you.
Nope. Yes, I would agree with that. But what else could we do?
They talk to her and see if you have any struggles socially.
What else could they do?
To what?
What else could
Ask
we,
your friends, see if they have any problem meeting people.
What else could they do?
To test
Yeah.
the student? I mean, they could test them on their ability to communicate with one another.
You know what I think would be really a good thing to do?
What?
You could take each student and you could have a series of 5 different. If you're bored or having difficulty, you can leave.
I'm not bored.
Then stop making noises and interrupting. We've had 4 people for the majority of the time. If Aaron needs to leave, he can leave.
I don't have to leave.
Well, then stop moaning and making
I'm
noises.
stretching.
If you had a series of, you brought in 5 parents and had each one of those students meet the 5 parents and tell them that they're tell them whatever the positions, and have the parents see how those children interact meeting new people if they have parents they hadn't met before. I think that would be a good way. So you could test them by actually interviewing them and see how they did.
Yeah. And you can even look up the students' grades to see how intelligent they are.
Well, you already know those. We already know what their grades are.
Okay, we know. So,
What else do we need to do?
7.
Is there anything else we can do to test or carry out the solution?
that's most of it.
Okay.
I think we're pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
Are we done?
I guess you are.
All right.
In my opinion, John Williams should be selected.
Okay. In
Alright.
my opinion, I think.
We've already heard your opinion. Can you stop the video?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Elvitz, for
So
the.
John Williams should be the one that's selected.
Thank you for your amazing teaching.
Press stop.
That's
Hey.
my